everyone, welcome back. I wanted to just pop in and say hello. It seems like lately all of my videos have just been my hands and my planner, and so I thought I would film a quick intro to this video. This is the third video in my Getting Things Done series. We've done collect, process, and organize, we've done review, and this is my do video. And it's also special because it's a collaboration video with Antonisha Plans. I'm gonna link her video down below in the description box. So definitely when you're done watching here, if you haven't already, please go watch her video. She's definitely somebody I highly admire, and she was one of the first people that got me interested in actually filming YouTube videos on planners and being organized, and I admire her so much. She actually has 2 kids and is running a side hustle. She's married, she runs her household, and she's busy. So definitely check and see how she keeps herself organized. So I'm going to start out with a quick kind of review of what my overall schedule looks like for the week. If you want the full detail on how we got there, please watch the video when we did the GTD review. I'll link that down below as well. So if you want to catch up, you can. And then there's going to be a short plan as you go snippet for each day this coming week. You'll see kind of how everything interacts, what all I look at, and how I make a decision about what I'm doing. I do admit I do kind of go all over the place. I'm not that organized like A to Z type of person where I'm like, all right, I'm going to do all of this and I'm going to do all of that when I'm planning. So you'll get to see a little bit about how that works. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any comments, please leave them there. And if you have any other videos you would like to see, please leave them there as well. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, and as you're watching, if you like it, please hit the like button. Let's get on with the video. Today is day 1 of my plan as you go video, and if you haven't watched it already, I actually did a setup of my everyday carry for this week. That video I will link below. It's also video number 2 in my GTD series, which is the review part of that process. You can watch that video first if you'd like to, just to see how we got here. So what I'm going to be doing is showing you every day how I interact with my planners. Essentially that's 3 of them. It's my everyday carry, work bullet journal, which didn't used to be bullet journal, so if this is your first time watching in a little bit, you have missed something, but not much. Like I just switched this 2 days ago, so this is very new. And then I also have my momentum planner, so that is the third part of the thing that I interact with. So with that being said, let's get started. So really quick, I just want to review where things stand with the momentum planner. I did go ahead and fill out this coming week's information. So this is last week. To be perfectly honest, this last week was insane. So I got payroll done. I did go to the webinar. I sent somebody else to the lunch. I literally got nothing else done this last week. One of my business partners is out of town, and so I was doing a lot of the operational items in the office, so I was the go-to question person. And there was a lot of questions. So I rolled forward some of the items here, but I was a little less specific because I really don't know how much I'm going to get done. So this week's projects is I want to continue working on these job packets, and then you'll see I have here BTT list. That's before the trip. So I have a trip coming up and I have a bunch of stuff I need to do before that trip. House cleaning on Wednesday. I have meetings most of the day on Thursday, so that basically kills a lot of that time. And then Friday, hopefully, fingers crossed, won't be too bad. And I did, because we are crossing into a new month, go ahead and fill out the next month, February's momentum planner. So I have a new weight goal. I want to add 300 YouTube subscribers, and I want to review the job application form and the process that people apply. And probably I'll still be working on those new hire packets. Because again, I am revamping a lot of job descriptions, that sort of thing, so it does take some time. I'm just starting with the positions that we have open right now. Okay, so I am going to put this paperwork over to the side because I will need it for when I start working on my work items. Okay, so let me quickly review this next week and how everything is set up. If you would like to watch the actual setup of it, I'll link it up above and down below the video that I did that was the review portion of the GTD process, and that was me getting this all set up. So quick review, I've set up the menu tentatively for this week. So these are the sorts of things I want to make sure I have the food I need on hand for. I've figured out what my zones are. I have an important task. I need to remember to register my car. I've set up my daily pages, so I have my exercise, which I forgot. I actually usually will put a little mark in there that I can check off, so I'll do that as we go. That's not the right color. It's a little too dark. That's okay. That'll work for that page. Put those in here. So I have my exercise, I have my appointments in, I have my headers filled in, so as I have tasks I can write those in, and then the tasks that I do have written in, those are all my recurring normal weekly tasks that I have going on. So now the next step for my everyday carry is to look at the things that I need to get done this week and either figure out what day I'm going to do them or write them in a place where I can reference them. So let's start with this, the renewing the car registration. A good day for that seems like Wednesday because I'll be having a desk day at that time. So I will make a note there. Other thing, it occurs to me, because I'm working, today is Saturday. This is why I have thoughts and then they disappear from my brain. Oh, I need to redo and update my budget. In the United States, if you're not living in the United States, they just redid the tax code. Literally, right before the end of the year, I adjusted my withholdings, figured out what I was actually going to be making each pay period, and redid my budget. And then here we are, like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and I have to do it over again because the amount that I'm making each month is changing. So I need to sit down and reevaluate that, but I need to redo the budget that I have written down that's kind of like the basic template that I fill out every single month when I get paid. So I know how much I'm putting down for things like mortgage and my recurring expenses, and then I have a certain amount that I save, and then as the month goes on I move money around based on what I actually end up spending. So I need to redo that because now it's no longer correct. Okay, so that was sojourn into current life. Take a look at my list back here. See some of the stuff I need to do this weekend just because of timing. I need to order foundation because the store didn't have my color, and part of my errands I need to go to Target. I know I should be working on next week, but these are things that I need to make sure I get done. And Target may get pushed off until Wednesday of this following week, but if I can do it before then, that would be good. And I need time for the foundation to come in, which is why I need to do that tomorrow, because today is Saturday. Okay, back to the week that I should be setting up. I know I bounce all over the place. So, is there anything else I need to do? Oh, I probably want to download books. I have a trip coming up with a lot of travel time because we'll actually be driving a lot of different places, and so having this books to read things reminds me, because I have two books that I've been waiting on that are being released this week. So I will get those downloaded to my Kindle. Let's see. A lot of it's just checking my to-do list and seeing if there's anything else I need to do. Alright, so the one thing I did say I wanted to do, and I'm going to go ahead and do this really quick, is I wanted to separate out house stuff from personal stuff. So this says PE, but I'm going to, here. Rather than rewriting this list, I'm just going to white that out and write HO for home, because that's the abbreviation. And then here, I'm going to make this my personal list. So I will just cross these off because this is going to be behind that list. Okay, so these are going to be things that are actually not house related that I need to do, which will be good. So, oh, that's the other thing. So I'm having our house cleaned right before we get back, and so I need to leave a check. So I would have written that down on this list. Actually, I still might, just in case, since I do look at this. All right. So that will remind me. Okay. So now that that's a little more narrowed down to things I actually need to do, I'm hoping I will pay a little more attention to it. Now, if you remember me talking about the strike through list before, it doesn't matter that I have page 2 in front of page 1. Page numbers and page number orders don't matter. It just matters that there's a page number so I can reference like 2.3, which I don't have my February inserts printed yet, but that will actually be next week. So that's why I'm not going to write it down in here. Other place I need to look is I had a list of things back here I need to reference. my known traveler number after we bought our tickets, so I need to go back and add that to a reservation. And for sure that gets us back in a little easier, but it also usually will get you into pre-check, which would be nice not to have to take my shoes off and blah blah blah, all the stuff that goes along with flying that makes it a giant pain in the butt. The other thing I need to make sure we do is that any prescription medicine we're taking with us, we have them refilled and enough for February, so we don't have to worry about that while we're gone. Okay, I think that's everything off of that list that I have to worry about. So many things with going out of town that you have to worry about, so okay. Yeah, so that's the personal side of things. Generally, I mean, the trip is different. Normally I don't have that much stuff going on, so this doesn't take me very long to update. So essentially that is me getting in some of the extra items that aren't part of my normal thing. So as far as Monday goes, there's not a lot going on Mondays usually. It's just me working my normal routine items and making sure that I'm getting those done. So usually what I will also do is come in here and check these and update them and make sure that everything's been done. So like I said, today's the 27th, so this is the day I'm working on. And I did mop floors this morning. All right, so that's it for everyday carry. So let me put this aside and let's take a look into the bullet journal. So just in case you're wondering, I do actually have my daily review process written down. This is normally what it looks like, filling out fitness or meal log and tracker. I actually do that online. I use MyFitnessPal. Migrate incomplete tasks. So that's the first thing I will need to take a look at is what was left over. So we have a new property that has a manager, and that's a situation we have to figure out what we're going to do about it. And I wanted to erase those lines, but yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. So technically I'm not responsible for figuring out that situation. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make a post-it note, because this is not something I necessarily need to do. It's just something no. The problem with this task, figure out Daisy Hill manager situation, is the fact that it's not really a next action. It's kind of ambiguous. Let's just be honest here. So I think the first thing we need to do is schedule time to talk with the manager. Because we don't even know if we tell her, or once we tell her what it is that we expect, if she'll even want to stay on. So I'm going to draw a little line because that's one that's been migrated forward. We've migrated tasks. The next thing I look at is OmniFocus because I have recurring tasks set up. So this is where the whole play between what tasks I have that are recurring versus the things that I want to work out from my momentum planner. This is where we have that little bit of tension that comes into play. So I have on the momentum planner that today, or Monday, I should say, I want to work on job packets and the before the trip list, which the before the trip list is here. So some of this I can't do until right before, like checking on delinquent rent status, but the others I can. However, this is probably going to be a full day, taking into account the fact that I have operational stuff that is probably going to pop up that I'm gonna have to deal with. I say that, and I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the case. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put in working on the job packets, but if it doesn't happen, then I can always migrate it to the next day. All right, and since the maintenance tech one is almost done, I'll add another one on the list. All right, I know I also have an appointment. And you'll actually see this abbreviation quite a lot. M is for meeting, C is for call, I is interview. And that actually brings to mind another task I need to do. Okay, so that's Monday, and Monday looks kind of busy, to be honest with you. That's quite a bit. I think I'll figure out a better way to do that, but I do want to make a note of what day of the week that is, just so I know. All right, that's what Monday looks like. We'll see if I get through it, how much I get through. And yeah, the other things, just in case you're curious, that's on my daily review are check for upcoming appointments, which I just put in. Look 2 to 3 days ahead to see if anything needs to be prepped, which I can kind of glance back here and see if I have anything. I know I have meetings on Thursday, but there's not really much I need to do for that. I've reviewed my momentum planner and pulled tasks. And as far as time blocking and scheduling, to be honest, I already have time blocks built into my calendar, so it's not something I necessarily need to worry about. All right, looks like we're good to go for Monday. So I will see you on Tuesday and we'll see how I did. Hi everyone, it is Monday evening and I am going to work on planning tomorrow. Now normally, I will admit, I do my work planning at the office, but it would be too hard to film there. So I brought it home and I will be working on it here. So let's actually start with the work planner because that's where my brain has been most recently. So this was the booklet I told you that I was jotting notes about things that I needed to do, so I'm going to be using that. I'm gonna flip through to today and I need to grab one thing. What I was looking for was pouch that has all my pens in it. This is the Tombow marker that I have been using. There we go. I noticed when I recorded the other day, everything was slightly out of focus, and I think it's because I manually focused it and left it. But unfortunately, it was focused up a little higher than I anticipated because I think it was focused when my planner was closed. So anything I had written was not legible. So anyway, hopefully this is a little clearer. I apologize for the technical difficulties on that. All right, so before I actually did something a little funny, I don't know if you can see these, the numbers are a little bit lighter than the month that I wrote over the top. And the reason that that is because I actually wrote the number in the Sharpie pen and then erased over it, which faded it out a little bit. It seems like a pretty cool effect, but honestly, I don't want to be doing that every single time. So I should have, we'll experiment a little bit with gray pens. I'm rummaging right now because I should have another gray pen. Well, we'll try it with these first because this is a little too thick. That's what I wrote the M in for Monday. So we'll try the Erin Condren dual tip marker and see if this works. So we'll try the fine tip end first and see what it looks like. So tomorrow is the 30th. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I will start using this then. Tuesday. Okay. So just so you know how I usually start, the first thing I do is take my cell phone and I look up my schedule for the day. And there's a reason I don't like planning my week out. I've had a bunch of stuff that got rearranged today, meeting-wise. So that's why I like to do this just the day before so that I don't have to sit there and white a bunch of stuff out. So at 11 a.m. I have a CalRHA legislative call. At 2 p.m. another apartment association thing. We have a meeting with a local mayor. The city's recently imposed inspections on apartment buildings, and we manage a building in that city, and we already do inspections every 6 months, and the owner is upset because not only does he have to pay us to do inspections because we actually fix stuff when we inspect, he has to pay the city to go and inspect it as well, and the city just walks in and looks and says, oh, this needs to be fixed. They don't actually do anything. So it seems a little pointless, to be honest with you, but you know, that's how things like this go. So the next thing I have is one-on-ones, which I abbreviate O3 for one-on-one, 3 O's. Those are with the people that report to me directly. So that is my hardscape, and to be honest, it's going to take up most of my day. So I don't anticipate that I'm going to get a ton of stuff done. So after my calendar, the next place I go look is OmniFocus, and I look at the next day to see what I have as far as recurring tasks go. So I have entering move-ins and scanning any bills that have come in. So I will put that in next. And I'm writing it out now, but every once in a while I'll abbreviate Appfolio, which is our accounting software, as AF. So if you ever see that, keep in mind that is likely what that abbreviation is for. It's not being used in the traditional internet sense. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I have my appointments in, I have my reoccurring tasks in, and these are things that I thought, you know, these are things that I want to work on tomorrow. Some of them are things that came up today, others of them are things that I know I need to address soon, just based on what else is going on. So this one I'm referencing a task that's in the back. So page number, item number. That's another one that's in the back. This one I was being lazy and I didn't feel like writing it down, so I'm just going to flip back and see what's on page 239.7. Now the person who came up with the strike through says just reference the number, the page number, and the item number, but to be honest, if I'm scanning my list looking for things I want to do, I don't want to be flipping back and forth trying to remember exactly what stuff is all the time. Now that is a waiting for task and I don't normally write them down, but I do anticipate that I'm going to be getting it tomorrow, so that's why I'm going ahead and putting it there. Okay, so those were the things that are on this list, so I'm just going to draw a line with an arrow so I know they were migrated someplace else. So that can go in the back in just a moment. And then the other place I want to check is my to do before trip list. I already have to be in the payroll system tomorrow anyway, I might as well do that at the same time. So that is the start of my day tomorrow. Okay, so you'll see over here that I have a line and I have a line on this page. Originally I had thought that I would split this into two different columns, having scheduled tasks on one side, the emergent tasks on the other. But then it occurred to me, once I have scheduled tasks and events for a day, I don't go and add more in. So it doesn't make any sense to have two columns. The only reason I would need to do that is if I was going to add to scheduled tasks. Essentially, I decide what I'd like to do for the day, draw a line, and then anything that comes up after that gets written after the line. So this I don't think I really necessarily need anymore. All right, so that is it for my work journal. That is ready to go for tomorrow. Now I did find when I was rummaging around at the office another notebook, a Moleskine notebook, and I've actually used this in the past. It's just a plain lined notebook, but I was trying to figure out where I might keep notes for meetings and things like that if I didn't want to keep them in my bullet journal. So I think that's actually what I'm going to use this for. As you can see, it's probably, I don't know, maybe a third of the way through, because this is the side that I've already written on. I have stuff in here back to 2010, so that'll tell you how often I use it. But I figured I'd finish it out, and then I have a professional Moleskine notebook, the one that has the different columns, so I'll use that when this is finished. All right, let's take a look at my personal planner. Now I am going to apologize. I didn't realize earlier that my memory card was full, and so I didn't realize that my camera had stopped recording. So I've already written some of the stuff down, so I'm just going to basically walk you through how I do it, and then you'll get to see tomorrow me actually writing stuff down. So the first place that I usually go is my habit tracker, and I just look at today's column and see what all I need to check off still. Usually the things in this section here are ones that I take care of in the morning because I check things off as I do them. So giving my dog his eye meds, journaling, working out, quiet time in the morning. Periodically I'll check things off down here, getting 7 hours of sleep, and sometimes I'll check floors or restart the dishwasher in the morning. I did that this evening, so I checked those off tonight. So the next place I go is looking at the day. I didn't get a chance to get any of these 3 things done, so I pushed 2 of them forward to tomorrow. I'll probably pick up the living room in the morning, and then editing YouTube videos I'll probably do at the office. I am dancing tomorrow night, hopefully. Usually that means I won't get anything done Tuesday evening. That means usually on Tuesday mornings I work on household tasks before I leave for work, or I push them off until Wednesday when I actually am working from home. Now this page is from a booklet from the Recollections line. This is essentially just tasks I need to get done this week. It's the equivalent of my before the trip task list in my work planner. It's a similar thing. These are things I need to get done fairly quickly here before I go on my trip. I had written down this morning that I needed to add it to the new family leave policy to the employee handbook, and I did double check and I had put that in my work planner this afternoon. So that's why I was able to cross it out, put an arrow that I was essentially forwarding it to the other notebook. So the other thing I wanted to point out is that when I'm flipping my bookmark to the new day, I usually just pull the page out, leave the bookmark attached. I really don't want to wear out the holes in this, even though I slit them so I can slide it in and out. These pages don't stay in very long, so it's not that big of a deal to pull out one of these pages and just let the bookmark slide on the rings. That's usually how I handle that aspect of it. So as you can see, not a lot that goes on my personal planner when it's in between 2 work days. There'll be a little bit more as I transition from Tuesday to Wednesday, and you will see that in the next segment of this video. But for now, that's pretty much it. Usually doesn't take too long. Writing out what I'm going to do for work the next day usually is what takes the longest. But as far as the home planner goes, I'm pretty much set up and following my weekly structure as far as my recurring tasks go and the hardscape, if you will, of my calendar and what I'm doing for the week. So that is everything for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Hi everyone, it is Wednesday morning, and so I will apologize for the slightly funky light in this room. It does get a lot of sun coming in the windows behind me, but I wanted to take a quick moment and walk you through my planning this morning. I got home late last night. I ended up going dancing, which was wonderful. I had a very good time, but that just means I come home and go straight to bed and don't think about what I'm doing the next day. So since you've already heard my process, I'm just going to go ahead and probably put some music on and get my planning done. I don't do anything for work in the morning because I would work from home on Wednesdays, and pretty much I'm just checking email and putting out fires, but I'm not working on any projects. So with that being said, let's get started. Now I'm going to pause really quick because I usually can't go to bed without actually writing down something of what I'm doing, but since I wanted to walk you through my planning, I went ahead and just kind of brain dumped everything I wanted to try and get done today on a separate piece of paper last night, just so you could see how I usually put things into my planner. So that's what this is, and it's what I'm going to transfer into here. Although I will say some of this is already in the planner, it's part of what's in this section here. Okay, you guys, this is just seriously how it goes. I just walked in and thunked all this down on my desk in here. Oh, it's been a day. So let me kind of move stuff out of the way, and maybe we'll start at the bottom and go to the top. So let's get rid of all of this. So we're going to start by what I spent most of my day on today. I have finally finished recording all my videos for the next 2 weeks. So I can go on vacation and not have to worry about it. I had my last 2 videos to record. I have not yet, well, oops, I crossed off the wrong thing. I need to edit it still. Maybe I should wipe that out. It's been one of those days. Okay, here we go. Edit, whiting out. More than I wanted to. There we go. I filmed how I process emails. This is actually what I am working on right now. And I have a lot of editing to do, but I'm at least done with filming. Now, it's still the last day of January. I uploaded on the 30th, so I have a video here. No blog post this month, but that's okay. I've actually posted on Instagram fairly regularly, and yeah. I'm not going to worry right now about setting the rest of this up. I need to look up the number of followers, but I do have my February goals in, and I actually have put in the stickers for the tracker for the next, I think I printed out 6 to a page, so I went ahead and just put those in. So that's ready to go for tomorrow. So that is my editorial calendar. Check, that one's done. All right, let's go personal planner next. So if you remember, I was working off of a couple of things. I did transfer most everything into today. I had a list here. Let's see. This is me doing that right now. I still haven't gone through the papers in the living room. I kind of did, but not like I really needed to, as in actually processing them. I just kind of looked through because I was trying to find my car registration. So I'm going to leave that unchecked because technically I did not. I haven't refilled the travel shampoo and conditioner bottles yet. That may actually happen this weekend. So to be honest, I'm just going to forward that. Isn't something that necessarily had to happen today. So that's forwarded. I can check off filming and writing today because I definitely did that. I did a little bit of a desk day today. It wasn't hardcore like I usually am trying to do. I did do my laundry. I did download my books. I got my car registration paid, which I actually think I had, yep, here. So I can cross that off. And I tell you, I wrote this down in so many places because I did not want to forget because it expires before I return. Check it off in all the places. This I'm just not going to worry about going through the papers in the living room. I did film the last 2 videos. I have not edited, but I'm working on that. I did not do any of my errands, but I do have a late meeting tomorrow, so I may do that on my way because at least CVS is on my way to work, so that wouldn't be too big of a deal to stop by there. This I think I can just get rid of because it's done for the most part, at least as far as I need to be concerned because everything's in here. All right, so while we're in this planner, just take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's work. I'm probably going to end up working late because I have meetings until 3. Between these 2 meetings, I'll try and come back in the office because I can call into this meeting. It's not as easy to run a meeting over the phone, but it's definitely doable. So I think this is really the only thing I'm going to have time to do is finish my playlist for Friday night. I've actually been adding songs to it today as I've been listening to music, like, oh, that would be interesting. I think I'd like that one. I need to finalize it. And I did not exercise today. I was fully dressed and intending to after the house cleaning was done, but then I got started editing videos and everything, and it just didn't happen, so that's okay. I will probably just continue on with this one tomorrow and move forward from there. Okay, so as far as personal stuff goes, actually I do need to try to get this done tomorrow. I have that email I need to reply to. Actually, I'll make myself a note. I can do that this weekend. I certainly hope CVS has my foundation color, because if they don't, I am in trouble, because I didn't actually end up ordering it like I had intended to this last weekend. So, I mean, I could probably see if I can get it via Amazon Prime, but I'm definitely going to pay quite a bit of money for that. So, because I have those scheduled out on here, I'm going to toss that paper away as well. Okay, so that is personal for tomorrow. And let's do work. Now, honestly, I probably would like to put my work stuff in here, but I don't think I'm going to have room. Even though I know I don't have a lot of time tomorrow, I still want to leave myself enough room. So I think I'm going to go ahead and flip to the next day. That page has served me well. So let me find some washi here. Let's see what I have. I did at one point in time pick out washi that I liked and put it on these so I could just kind of take it with me. And the nice thing is too, because these are hard plastic, you can actually use the ends of these to cut your washi with. So if you don't have, I mean, I always have like a Starbucks card or something with me, but if you don't, that will work in a pinch. And I have black and white polka dots. I don't know. This is one of my favorite washi tapes. I've bought several rolls of it just in case I ever run out. And I wish I'd done the same with this because I really like the pink and white, or the pink and gold polka dots. I think I may just keep with the pink and gold just since it's February and Valentine's Day-ish. Doesn't have to be exact, but somewhat straight would be nice. I don't know if I'm going to just turn the sound off for this part, but if you hear the dogs barking, I think my husband just came home. Or I have an Amazon delivery that's supposed to come, so that could be it also. Considering the door hasn't opened, I have a feeling it's probably the Amazon delivery. I keep running out of room on my card, so I figured I would order a bigger memory card so I don't have the issue where I look up and it hasn't been recording and I have no idea how long it's been since it stopped. Alright, there's washi, and I'm going to go stop the dogs from barking. I'll be right back. Or leaving wasn't required, all I had to do was just yell. That works too. Okay, so tomorrow is February 1st. Can't believe it's February already. And another thing you'll see, and I don't remember how I got in this habit, but instead of having to try to remember Tuesday, Thursday, THTU, I have always written R for Thursday for some reason. So if you ever see me do that, that's what that is. All right, let's take a look at tomorrow's meetings. Evidently, I can't write in a straight line. Well, you know. So at 4, I've rescheduled my accounting team meeting that was supposed to happen on Tuesday because I ended up having the California legislative, the state call that I didn't know if it was going to be Tuesday or not, and it was. I don't think I made that any better. There we go, well, whatever. Okay, so that is my day. So pretty much like meetings all day long. Yay. So as far as recurring tasks go, okay, so those are my recurring tasks, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't think I'll have many bills to scan. I don't think I'll have many move-ins to enter, because I did a lot of that on Tuesday. So I have a feeling that, or at least I hope, it won't be that bad. So let's take a look at my work list. Mainly I'm looking for things that have a due date that haven't been finished yet, or that have an asterisk, which are things that I need to do fairly quickly. Okay, so there's a couple other things I need to get done here before I leave. So I didn't have a good place, but I wanted to start an agenda for our accounting team meeting that we have tomorrow, because there's definitely some stuff I need to make sure that they know about. Let's see See if there's anything else that needs to be added on there. It's kind of nice when I can go back through and cross out things that I've received. Okay. So to be honest, I think that's probably all I'm going to get done. I'll just draw a line there because that's the things I've planned to do for the day. If I have more agenda items, I can always write them over here in another column, since these lines were very short. So that is my work set up for tomorrow. I have my appointments, I have my recurring tasks, I have a couple of things that are on my general to-do list that I need to go ahead and start working on. I have an agenda for my accounting team meeting, and then room for whatever else comes up, which hopefully isn't too much because I don't have a lot of time tomorrow. And I'm sorry, this is really bothering me. I should probably stop fiddling with it because I think I'm making it worse. I don't know. It looks like a 7 because of where the B ended up on here. No! Okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone because I'm making it worse. Yeah, anyway, it's not all gonna be pretty. I have to remind myself of that. Okay, so that is everything for tomorrow. I think I'm ready. Ready to face another day. So I will see you tomorrow for another planning session. Hi everyone, we've made it to Thursday. It's Thursday evening. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be today, a super busy day at work. I think once again I'm going to start with my work planner because that's where I've been most recently and I know the things that I need to be working on. So I'm going to move my personal planner out of the way and let's see where we ended up today. Here where the line is, that indicates everything above that is what I had planned, and everything below it is stuff that came up after. I got most everything done. I had 2 items that I probably could have chosen to stay a little bit later and finish, but I ended up, it was 8 o'clock and I was tired and was headed home. I actually didn't get out of meetings till 4:30 today, so it was definitely a long day. So once again, I have a list of a couple of things I need to plan for tomorrow. I think this actually got put in my personal planner, but I will double check on that. All right, so let's get tomorrow set up. Let's see if I can be a little bit neater this time and not have a repeat of what happened yesterday. I am going to go ahead and start here, and that'll give me this space and this space for tomorrow and Monday, and maybe a little bit of Tuesday, we shall see. Well, it starts off by looking a little bit neater. That's a good thing. Actually, no, I may use a thinner pen. Let's try this other Erin Condren here. Yep, I think that worked a little bit better. Okay. And hooray for Friday coming up. All right, so once again, I'm going to start by checking my calendar. Thankfully, tomorrow's a lot slower than the rest of this week has been in terms of meetings. Actually, before I do that, I don't remember if I have any recurring tasks tomorrow or not. I do. Actually, no, this has become kind of a moot point. Usually I get my voicemails via email, but for some reason that stopped working. So used to I would listen to them through my email, and then at the end of the week I would go through and clean off my voicemail. However, I don't get them via email anymore, so I have to clear them off as they come in. So I actually think I'm going to delete that off of my recurring tasks because it doesn't really apply anymore. Then that just leaves these other tasks that I need to work on. Oh, I do need to transfer one of these from up above here. So that's going forward. This I think I can just cross off. I don't think it applies anymore. I kind of like when that happens. Okay, so I think I'm going to call that good right here for tomorrow. A lot of these actually are little piddly things. You'll see I'm pulling a lot of stuff from the list back here. None of it really requires a whole lot of brain power, thankfully. Things like ordering new postage ink, that sort of thing. But to be honest, it's Friday. It's been a long week. I've gotten a lot of stuff done, and I'm ready for some small stuff that doesn't take a lot of brain power. So that's gonna set this up for tomorrow. I'll put this off to the side. I'll grab my personal planner here and do some updating. I did catch myself back up this morning with this. You can actually see I went ahead and anticipated. I added another section here, kind of this pinky red color that I've started using in my inserts for when I post a YouTube video, just because I think it would be interesting to look back and see. Like I said, I've actually already done today's because I filled that out this morning. Actually, need to switch this over to be February. So this is technically our month here. All right, let's go to today. So this actually almost 11 o'clock right now. But that's because I just spent a whole bunch of time working on my playlist for tomorrow night. So I did actually already have this written down, so I can cross that off. So I know that it's actually already been taken care of. I can put that back in with my work planner. I did not get any editing done this evening. One thing I did decide though is that I've been putting work here, and I've noticed that I'm not really tracking anything that's work related. If I have some sort of a large task, it's probably going to be time blocked anyway, mainly like payroll. So I will probably write that over here on this side. So I'm actually, I think in the future, going to be making this home and then YouTube, so I can kind of keep track of the tasks I need to be working on as they're assigned out. So I did actually find foundation this morning, thankfully. They only had one, because originally I was thinking, well, I'll just go in and buy two and then I'll have an extra. Oh no, they only have one. So I did ask, and she said they were still carrying it. So that hopefully that means when I get back, I can get another one. I did yesterday's workout today, so I just checked it off where it was. So then let's look at tomorrow. So tomorrow I will probably be hanging out at the office waiting before I go DJ. So I will transfer some of these tasks over here. And while honestly I could just draw little arrows and know that I still needed to work on these, I find that if I actually rewrite these every single day, at some point I get annoyed enough that I'm rewriting it yet again that I go ahead and get it done. So it's this weird kind of like impetus for me to actually get whatever it is finished, because I'm tired of writing it over again. It's those little brain tricks that you use on yourself to actually get yourself to do certain things. So, well, I think I'm going to be a little more realistic here. So those are actually honestly probably the only two videos that I will actually potentially have the ability to edit, especially if I do one at lunch and one after work, which means that this last video here will probably need to happen this weekend. And just a quick note, the way that my work ends are laid out, because I've always made sure that I add an extra page at the beginning and at the end of my week so that Saturday and Sunday are always facing. I kind of use this all as one giant to-do list, so sometimes I'll work on some of my Sunday things on Saturday and some of my Saturday things on Sunday, and I don't worry about it. It's just as long as I get as much of this done as possible, some point during the weekend, I'm usually okay. Okay, so all of this stuff has been forwarded. A few things were finished. I'm going to check this off because I'm actually doing this right now, just so I have it. I'll write down that meeting that I made today for tomorrow afternoon. So really quick, I've moved things around because I put in my February habit tracker. So let me check some of this stuff off. I'm reviewing the next day here. don't think I did any of this today. Mainly it's because I do this in the evenings and I wasn't home tonight. So I am going to put out workout clothes. I'll go ahead and mark that down. And then this is always the kind of sketchy thing. It's like, am I recording this as of that morning or am I recording it for the next day? So if I remember correctly, I was not up at 6:30 for sure, and I did not get 7 hours of sleep. So that's why that is blank. So that's my habit tracker for today. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me just double check. Just DJing. Tomorrow's Groundhog Day as well, so it may feel like it since I seem to be doing the same thing over and over again. But hopefully you can see when I'm planning that it really is just habits, like checking the same areas, making sure everything's accounted for, moving things forward if I didn't get it done, and just making sure that everything's accounted for. That's why I think in my weekly review I don't spend a lot of time going back through the week looking to see what was left undone. It's because I'm moving it forward as I go rather than just leaving it undone sitting on that page. Because that way I don't forget about it. I'd rather push it forward to a day than I think it's going to get done rather than wait, leave it there, and then forget. So that's it for today. See you soon. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, and this is the last day of my Plan As You Go set inside of this video. And I have both my personal planner and my work planner. So I'm going to go ahead and set up Monday just because I want to get it out of the way, and that way I don't have to think about work the rest of the weekend. All right. So this is where we left off yesterday. This was what I had scheduled, and I actually did have this meeting. I haven't decided if I'm going to color these in, or maybe I will. That's how I'll denote they're done. I don't know. I'm still kind of working with and seeing what works. I do have check marks up here. I could color it in. I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point. I don't mind the messiness of it, of the X's. Some people prefer to just color it in, but I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing. So this is what I had scheduled. This is what came up afterwards. I did get pretty much everything done that I wanted to. There were a few things that I decided could wait until Monday, and those were these last items here. So I'm going to go ahead and get Monday set up in my bullet journal. The good news is I have no meetings on Monday, so that will be very, very nice. And I guess next time I'll consider the fact that I need to line that up a little bit better, but again, as I mentioned, it's okay. So evidently, sometimes I have problems writing, especially in the morning when I'm not fully awake yet. This is what my day looks like thus far. And actually, I forgot to check for my recurring tasks, so I'll just add those at the end. And I know that I have some because I pushed a bunch of them forward. Okay, so then these are my recurring items that you probably have seen several times this week. I do have to do payroll on Monday evening, and I have a new way to bulk upload journal entries into our system. So I want to make sure that I use that because it will make my life a lot easier because I already have names set up, which is usually the thing that takes the longest. Okay. So that is my setup for Monday. Okay, on to my personal planner. Well, I honestly did not get any of this done yesterday. I was busy trying to get other work stuff done. So I do want to make sure I get the rest of my YouTube stuff done and scheduled this weekend. So, because I have run out of room on Saturday, and my Saturday and Sunday lists are kind of everything all together. I work off of both pages. It's okay that they're spread across. I'll just do them as I can. Okay. And elsewhere, I do have a big list of everything I need to do for my trip, so it's a combination of stuff for myself, my husband, so I'll be working off of that, I think, a lot. But if you remember, earlier in the week, I actually set up all my recurring tasks. So that is everything kind of above here. And that's usually what I spend most of my weekend doing and then just relaxing. So I just have the additional items here and here that I've added on. And honestly, I don't have anything else. Oh, actually I do. We'll put it here. I need to take the dogs for their nail trims before we leave, just so their nails aren't extra long when we get back, because it's about due. All right, so that's everything I need to do this week. So hopefully seeing kind of how I interact with my planners all week long has been helpful. So you see how I'm deciding what to do, where I'm grabbing stuff from. I know you didn't see a lot of the momentum planner coming into play this week, but to be honest, because I didn't have a lot of time to be working on projects, I didn't really pull it out. In a normal week, you might see me work on it a little bit more at the beginning of the week and then pulling that information in throughout the week and then just glancing at that weekly checklist. Other weeks, I just know I'm not gonna have time to work on project stuff, so you never actually see me use it. It just really depends on what's going on. And again, for me, that's more of a thinking planner, and it's how I make decisions about how I'm breaking stuff down. Right now, I know without looking at it where I'm going on that onboarding project, so I don't need to take the time and remind myself about it every single day. I know, what parts I'm working on at the moment. I'll probably pull it out right when I get back, just as a reminder and a refresher of where I stopped and what I need to continue working on to move everything forward. But for now, this is pretty much what my weekly planning looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate giving it a thumbs up. And if you are interested in more videos like that, please subscribe. I'm sure you've seen sneak peeks of what's coming over the next couple of weeks. Generally though, I am recording and releasing every Tuesday and Thursday, and periodically I will upload a bonus video on Saturdays, like this one will be going up this afternoon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks!